Congratulations, graduates. You, your family, your friends and mentors, and everyone that supported you in your endeavors to reach this point are so very excited to be celebrating your achievements. Each spring, we look forward to the moment when we can celebrate you and all that you have accomplished in your time with us. And though we cannot be gathering in person as a department this year, we are with you in spirit. Moreover, we are especially aware of and proud of your success in having attained this goal during the difficult conditions of the pandemic and the disruptive circumstances of the learning environment over the course of the past 15 months. Well done. During this time, in the arts, we watched as our future became seemingly more precarious and the paths we've chosen to pursue more tenuous. The sciences stepped up, solving the immediate health crises our society was facing. But now, as things start to normalize again, as we move back towards more interactions with one another, it will be time for the arts to shine. I am having more frequent conversations with colleagues on campus and nationally, reading more regularly about how absolutely vital the arts will be to help our society process everything we have been through, to move through and beyond it into our new way of life, whatever that may look like. This is your future as new artists and scholars of art. This is your possibility. This is what you have worked so hard to move toward. This is the world full of potential and ready for your contribution. It is daunting, but exciting time to be moving forward. Enjoy those prospects. Congratulations and best wishes in whatever you do.
I'm delighted to present our MA and PhD graduates from the last 2 academic years. The MA in Art History is normally a 2-year degree, culminating in an original work of art historical research, the MA thesis. 2 of last year's MA graduates, however, Emily Crockett and Veronica McGurran, and one who is finishing this year, Taylor Barrett, were enrolled in our joint degree program with the School of Information and Library Science, a 3-year program requiring 2 theses, one in each school, that confers a master's in information science as well as the MA in art history. Past graduates of this program are leaders in the expanding field of art information throughout the country, and we are confident that Emily, Veronica, and Taylor will soon join their ranks. We also offer our congratulations to Cassidy Bronak, Michelle Fickrig, and Annie Poslusny, who complete their MAs in Early Modern, Contemporary African, and American Art History, respectively, this spring. This was an extraordinarily challenging year in which to research and write, and it is so inspiring to see all these talented students persist and complete their degrees on time. We congratulate and send our warmest wishes to all of them in their future endeavors. The Doctor of Philosophy is the highest degree offered by the university. In art history, it typically involves at least 5 years of study past the MA, including 3 to 4 semesters of advanced seminars, preparation of comprehensive exams, written and oral, in 3 art historical or related fields, and above all, the research and writing of a dissertation, an original work of scholarship intended to be the basis for a book-length publication. We get to know our doctoral students well over the time they are with us, especially as they also form an important part of our teaching staff, both as teaching assistants in our large lecture courses and often as instructors of their own in-person and online courses. And so we are always especially pleased and also moved to see them complete their degrees. In 2019-2020, Chi Lu in Asian art and Alexandra Wellington and Catherine Calvin in 18th century art completed their degrees. In congratulating Alex and Catherine, I joined them in paying tribute to the memory of their advisor, our late colleague Mary Sheriff, and in offering the department's thanks to Mary's friends, our colleagues at other institutions who stepped in to advise them. Douglas Fordham at the University of Virginia was Alex's advisor, and Christopher Johns at Vanderbilt was Catherine's. This year, A challenging one in which to finish, as I've already mentioned, Carly Forbes in African art and Robin Holmes in modern European art are our new PhDs. All of them have our warmest congratulations and our fondest wishes, and we look forward to hearing about their accomplishments in the future.
Cassidy, congratulations on the completion of your MA. This was a real achievement and a milestone in your career. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you over the past 2 years, first in our readings course, then in our seminar, and especially over the past year as we both worked closely on your MA thesis. I think it was a real achievement. Your exploration of the satirical prints of Henry III was rigorous, robust, and really a contribution to the scholarship. So congratulations on that. It's also been fun seeing you in the neighborhood on walks and even having you over to my house for a tutorial on the porch. So I'm glad we got to be neighbors as well as friends in academia. So congratulations again. This is a big achievement, and I think you really finished strong. I look forward to all the good things that you will go on to from here.
I'm graduating with a master's degree in art history in May 2021. I worked with Dr. Tanya String on late 16th century French satirical prints, and I really would like to thank Dr. String for advising me throughout my entire research process during this crazy, unprecedented time of quarantine and working from home. One of my favorite memories, though, of being in Haines was during my first semester, during the African art seminar with Professor Rovine, and we had to reschedule our seminar meeting one day, and as we settled into Haines at a different time than usual for class, we soon realized an a cappella group was practicing their harmonies right next door. So that was a little distracting, but very funny at the time to learn that Haines is also well known for its great acoustics. But I'm really grateful for the faculty, and I really had a great experience during my time here at UNC.
Emily, belated congratulations on your graduation, both in art history and in library science. You have mastery of 2 subjects, and I know that was a big achievement. This is a kind of goodbye after 7 years, I think, together as an undergraduate in classes with me, and then working together on your honors thesis, and then finally together on your MA thesis. It's been a long road, and your devotion to Titian, to Venetian art, to representations of women, and to, in the final analysis, representations of Titian's bathing women. It was a really strong analysis. It was a really strong and sensitive approach to the material. And again, it will be something that my students in Women in the Visual Arts will read again and again. So congratulations. I look forward to hearing about all of your future endeavors, and I wish you only the best as you go forward.
I graduated in May 2020 with a dual master's degree in information science and art history. My art history master's was on Veronese's Bathing Women, examining Paolo Veronese's depictions of Susanna and the Elders, Diana and Actaeon, and Bathsheba and David. After I graduated with my bachelor's degree from Carolina in 2017, I thought I was done with art history, but I missed it so much in my first year of information science that I decided to pursue the dual degree, and I'm so glad that I did. I would like to thank all the professors that I had the chance to study under, but I would particularly like to thank my advisor, Dr. String, for continuing to push me to be the best that I could be, and for arranging our breakfast with Pat Simons, because that was really cool. I also would like to thank JJ for advising on my information science master's paper and for introducing me to the world of visual resources. My exposure to the field by working in the VRL has had a huge impact on my career trajectory, and I'm so very grateful for that. Finally, I would like to thank all my peers for making my extended time at Carolina wonderful. Thank you.
Michelle, congratulations. It has been an absolute delight working with you these past 2 years, even if it has been the strangest of circumstances under which we have created our advisor-advisee relationship. I have come to anticipate and appreciate the many rabbit holes that you venture down during the readings for any given seminar session. I look forward to the popular culture connections you might make to the art we are studying, or the music and film references that you would entreat us all to look at as comparative material. Your passion for research is lovely to watch in motion as you have developed your voice in your time here. Working with you as you move through refining your ideas about the performance of memory, nostalgia, embodiment, and photography in your thesis project has been a true pleasure. I have enjoyed each and every one of those conversations. Thank you. I wish you all the best as you head off to the next phase of your graduate career.
I'm graduating with my Master's of Art History in May 2021. I researched contemporary African art with a focus on photography. My research advisor was Dr. Carol McGee, and I'm so thankful for her. And I'm really gonna miss Haynes. I miss being able to see my peers and my colleagues in person, and I wish we could all have one more seminar around those big wooden tables together. I'll really carry with me the thoughts and ideas that you shared with me. Thank you.
I'm happy to say a few words about Catherine Calvin, who received her PhD in 2020. I was pleased to serve as one of her committee members. Catherine's dissertation is entitled Antiquity and Empire, the Construction of History in Western European Representations of the Ottoman Empire, 1650 to 1850. With 4 chapters focused on 4 different sites: Palmyra, Nineveh, or modern Mosul, Aleppo, and Athens. This work is the first major study to connect the visual and material culture of ancient archaeological sites in the Ottoman Empire with the development of modern European museums and imperialism. Catherine studies a variety of artifacts of the encounter between European scholars, travelers, and merchants, Ottoman scholars and officials, and the inhabitants of the countries where the sites were located, to offer a fresh view of the ways knowledge about the ancient past fed narratives about the present. Catherine's excellent dissertation won the Graduate School's Distinguished Dissertation Prize in the Humanities. We congratulate her for that honor and for securing a position, even before she finished, as Assistant Professor of Art History at Kenyon College in Ohio. We look forward to news of her continuing achievements.
I'm so appreciative of the opportunity to say thank you to the many, many people at UNC who supported me for the last 8 years. I've put off making this short video, sorry JJ for being late, because I know there's no way I could possibly articulate the immense gratitude I have for my time in this program. In my dissertation, I talk a lot about networks of merchants, of travelers, of collectors, who used ancient objects to frame themselves in relation to long-distant pasts and places. I had no idea how much I too would rely on networks of colleagues and mentors at UNC. Being a part of Dr. Sheriff's circle continues to shape who I am and who I want to be, as a scholar and also as a person. After she passed, it was her network of students and colleagues, both here and elsewhere, who stepped in for me and so many others. The other members of my committee, Tanya, Carol, and Dan, gave me support and space to grieve. They also encouraged me to keep working, and most influentially, to teach. I fell in love with all aspects of teaching, except grading, of course, during my time at UNC, and I wouldn't have been able to get my current job without it. Tanya was the first person to email me the job posting, and I believe said, "My uncle went to Kenyon with Paul Newman, so you should definitely work here." And she was right. I'm also so grateful for the mentorship offered by faculty who weren't even on my committee, particularly Lanice and Eduardo. So thank you all again for making my time at UNC a memorable one. I hope to celebrate with you all in Chapel Hill at some point in the hopefully near future.
It is my great pleasure to officially present Dr. Carly Forbes to the world and to very enthusiastically congratulate her on her extraordinarily successful graduate career. I very much regret that I'm not standing on a stage with you right now, Carly, placing a hood on your shoulders. You have certainly earned that moment, and I hope this video serves as a very different and more permanent form of recognition. Carly is an extraordinary young scholar who has collected more awards, fellowships, publications, and valuable experience along the way than any other student I've worked with at UNC or elsewhere. While I cannot begin to recount all of her achievements, I will note that she is now an Andrew W. Mellon Curatorial Fellow at the Fowler Museum at UCLA, a very auspicious start to her career. Carly's dissertation, Making for New Markets, Art, Innovation, and Collecting in Colonial-Era Congo, opens our eyes to networks of patronage and creativity that developed in Central Africa during the decades of Belgian colonial rule. Her work demonstrates that African artistic creativity persisted even in an exceptionally repressive colonial context, and it reveals new facets of the dynamics of European patronage of Central African artists. This work is truly a major contribution and a testament to Carly's amazing research skills, her devotion to bringing object histories to light, and her ability to read into and beneath the objects and archives at the center of her work. My esteem for Carly is founded in many years of work with her in 2 graduate programs. In 2011, she completed an excellent MA thesis under my direction at the University of Florida, and when I accepted a position at UNC, Carly decided to apply in order to continue working with me and to take advantage of many other faculty members and programs here. She has succeeded beyond my expectations. I'm very proud to have worked with you, Carly, for these many years, and I look forward to your continued success. Congratulations.
My name is Carly Forbes, and I completed a Ph.D. in art history, specializing in African art in December of 2020. My dissertation looked at how Congolese artists created new and innovative works for European markets in the early 20th century. And with the short amount of time I've given today, I'd love to express just a ton of thanks, because completing a PhD requires such a large team of people, and I'm so very, very, very thankful for everyone who's been on my team throughout this research journey. I'd like to start with a note of appreciation for my family and my friends for the support and encouragement they've provided throughout these years, as well as just an immense statement of gratitude to my advisor, Vicki Rovine, for all of her compassion and guidance and expertise throughout this whole process, from classes to readings to writing grant applications to doing the research itself to writing and reading every single draft to that final moment when I could submit to ProQuest. Vicki Rovine has been a constant source of support and guidance throughout this, and I really couldn't have done it without her. I also give great thanks to my committee, Carol McGee, John Bowles, Shireen Delico, and Cecile Fromont for their help and guidance. And finally, just a note to all of the museum curators, archivists, and librarians. There's too many to note here, but my research wouldn't have been possible without them. I have a special shout out to UNC's art librarians, Josh, Alice, and Sasha, for the help that they've provided in the past year, especially searching down those page numbers and citations and image references in this time of a pandemic. Special gratitude to the Royster Society of Fellows for their generous research funding, as well as to UNC's African Studies Center for providing a very collegial and hospitable environment to test out my ideas. So with that, I'd like to say thanks and congratulations to my fellow graduates. I look forward to celebrating with you in the future.
I'm Daniel Sherman, speaking now in my capacity as Robin Holmes's advisor, which gives me the very pleasant responsibility of saying a few words about her. And in some ways, I'm relieved to be doing this remotely, because I'm afraid that in person I might get a little emotional. Robin's dissertation, which she defended successfully this spring, is entitled Colonial Subjects, French Representations of North African Men Under Colonization. Covering virtually the entire period of French colonization of Algeria from 1830 to 1962, the dissertation examines the work of 2 sculptors, Charles Cordier and Paul Landowski, and 2 painters, Henri Matisse and Jean Dubuffet, all artists who engaged with ideas of racial typology and masculinity. Robin sensitively combines acute visual analysis with a comprehensive exposition of the wider historical context to make clear how active a role ideas about racial traits played in the development of the art historical canon, and reciprocally, how central visual depiction was in the elaboration of modern racism. This is a major work of scholarship, and we look forward to seeing it in print. At the same time, I would like to pay tribute to Robin's grit and determination, and to the members of her family, notably her son Gavin, who have helped her reach this moment. Robin, you are an inspiration. I've learned so much from you, and I am grateful to have had the opportunity to teach you.
I'm in the Department of Art History, and I study French representations of North African men under colonization. I'm so grateful to my advisor, Dan Sherman, to my committee, to my family, and most of all, my son Gavin, who walked every step of this path with me.
I'm here to congratulate Dr. Chi Lu, who completed her doctoral dissertation in the summer of 2019. She would have participated in our hooding ceremony this past year, but given the pandemic, it was impossible. I would like to recognize her achievement. Dr. Lu entered UNC-Chapel Hill as a graduate student with a Royster Fellowship. It is a very, very exclusive fellowship given only to the top applicants to UNC. In her time here, she demonstrated again and again her intelligence, her creativity, and her ability to work. No more so than in her dissertation entitled The Temporality of a City, Qingzhou in the Liao Empire, 907 to 1125 CE. Although I'm not a specialist in Chinese art, I served as the administrative chair of her committee, and my former colleague, Professor Weicheng Ling, now at the University of Chicago, was the advisor. Dr. Lu's dissertation studied the experiential articulation of space in the case of Qingzhou, a temporary or a seasonal residence of the peripatetic Liao imperial court that was subsequently transformed into a mausoleum and ritual center. Through a careful analysis of the archaeological record, notably the three imperial mausolea, the so-called White Pagoda and the remains of a Buddhist monastery and a royal palace, and an equally meticulous review of the epigraphic and literary evidence, she isolated non-Han traditions of the Liao and was able to demonstrate how architecture and architectural environments communicated profound ideas and beliefs about power and the world. It was an excellent dissertation, and her accomplishments have been recognized. I am happy to say that she is now a member of the faculty of the Beijing Film Academy in the art history program there. She has demonstrated again and again her abilities, her gifts for research and for interpretation. It is a great pleasure for me to congratulate Dr. Lu.
Hi everyone, my name is Chi Lu. I received my doctoral degree in art history in August 2019, and my research focuses on pre-modern Chinese art. I'm currently an assistant professor at Beijing Film Academy in Beijing, China. The journey toward completing my PhD study at UNC had been circuitous but an unforgettable and a life-changing experience for me. It would never have been possible without the guidance and persistent help of many teachers, friends, and family. I would like to express my deepest appreciation to my advisor, Professor Wei Zhenling. During my 7 years of studying art history at UNC, he read, edited, and commented on almost every page of my small and large papers. I also greatly benefited from all the members of my dissertation committee. I would like to take this chance to thank Professor Eldado Douglas, Professor Tanya String, Professor Claire Anderson, and Professor Stanley Abe. My deepest appreciation also goes to all the other faculties, staffs, colleagues, and friends in the UNC Art History Department. Last but not least, to my family. Without their spiritual support and encouragement, my 7 years graduate study in the United States would never have been possible.
Dr. Alexandra Wellington, it is my great honor to offer official congratulations on behalf of our department on the conferral of your doctoral degree in art history. Throughout your time with us, each new context in which we interacted provided a wonderful opportunity to observe as you developed into a smart and capable colleague, whether you were serving as a teaching assistant or experimenting with new theoretical models with which to analyze a work of art in a seminar, or apprehending African art for your field exam. As exciting was the opportunity I had to serve as committee chair for your dissertation, Sympathy with Limits, British Anti-Slavery Prints, 1787 to 1833. Your examination of abolitionist print media argues for an expanding understanding of emotional engagement in the anti-slavery movement through imagery that evokes sympathy, sentimentality, and family values in a way that paintings could not. Your identification of key visual differences in how viewers are asked to engage with the figures of enslaved Africans, whether in widely circulated travel accounts or propaganda for abolitionist groups themselves, demonstrated your key observational interpretive skills and growth into a creative scholar. And while, as an educator, all these things were absolutely lovely to observe, what I will treasure most and what stays with me even now is what brought us together in the first place. And that is the conversations we would have in my office about our shared passion for oceanic art. That one area of artistic expression that neither of us were able to investigate formally together. I hope nonetheless that it will continue to bring us together informally in the future. My very best to you, Alex. Well done.
My name is Alexandra Wellington, and I graduated in 2020 with my PhD in art history. My dissertation, Sympathy Within Limits, analyzes works of art depicting slavery, but focuses specifically on the intersection between sympathy, abolition, and print in Britain. First and foremost, I would like to thank my advisor, Douglas Fordham, and my committee members, Carol McGee, Vicki Rovine, Catherine Desplanck, and Lenice Williams. Thank you for all of your support, guidance, and edits throughout the entire writing process. Thank you also to Franny Brock for proofreading and editing the final draft of my dissertation. And thank you to my husband, Jack, and my stepsons, Little Jack, Gage, and Levi, for understanding why I had to lock myself away in my office those last few months. Thank you, and to everyone else graduating right now, congratulations.